Let's wait for YouTube. Let's wait for YouTube. Tell me that we're live, baby. Testing, 1, 2, episode 20. Yo, what do you think about the two Olympian high jumpers that decided to share the gold instead of have a jump off?
That's dope.
I too.
I like it.
Part of me is like, let's battle it out. But then I was like, if y'all two are homies and y'all both get to walk away with gold and nobody has to take the silver, yay, come together, conspire against the Olympics. None of us are silver medalists. We both gold medalists. We out of here. We all got it. I took care of my mans. At the end of the day, my man took care of me. I respected that. Did you see old girl that fell during the what was it, the 800 meter, and she got back up and won?
Mm-hmm.
I've always wondered that, right? I'm no track and field expert, but I understand the training and things like that. But I never understood how, like, there's points where some races I watch, and I'm like, you don't have any sprint left in you. This is the one race of a lifetime. You have no sprint left. This girl got up off the ground, fell behind by about 30 meters, and then smoked everybody for like the last 100.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder, like, how many runners have that burst in them? Because in sports, like, yeah, I could play an entire game, or I could, be rounding the bases for inside the park home run. But once I hit that last leg, I'm finishing it out.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think that comes from? Or you think that that's something some people have and some people don't?
Some people have it, some people don't.
Yo, that was amazing.
It's just, it's just what you have within. If your will to win is like, you're not gonna beat me. It's hard to beat a person that just got that will to win.
I was like, yo, that was big to watch that, and it's something I've always wanted to see, because I know there's some people out there who have that in them, but I'm kind of shocked, I guess. You have people that are sprinters but can't run the 800 meters.
Right.
It almost doesn't make sense to me.
Why?
I don't know, because if you can do the 100-yard dash or whatever, you should be able to run 800 meters.
It's just the training. Like, if you're training for the 100 meter,
yeah,
the 800 gonna kill you, because you're
that's true. That's
true.
True.
You're training to sprint,
to burst all of that at once.
Yes,
but if you have that sprint in you, in that conditioning, you should still be able to dial it back and go a long distance, in my opinion.
So you want them to like do the 800, but then like for like the first 700 meters, like just coast. And then that last 100,
judging by what she did, they should be able to do it, right? Like, they should be able to keep up and just, all right. But I know once we get around this last eighth of the track, I'm smoking y'all.
Look, I'm no track expert. We do know people that's into track.
Yeah,
and we'll just have to defer to them. But
yeah, we come from a track powerhouse.
I just think it's all about the training and how you train. Like, if you train for the 800, you know how to. Pace yourself. If you train to be a sprinter, for that one bolt of lightning for them 100 meters, that's what you train for.
Yeah, that's true. And training for different sports and different events matters. It was like we used to get football players coming out for the wrestling team. Yeah, you're in shape to play football because it's static movement. Like, you get a break in between your movements. 6 minutes of wrestling is no joke. You got to train as if you're a distance runner. You got to have a different level of stamina than you do with any other sport. Mm-hmm. I've never seen training like that. That is the hardest training ever. I tell people that in boxing, like that's like, because in wrestling, you're training for a much longer wrestling match than 6 minutes, but you only got 6 minutes, mm-hmm. and it's still kicking you behind every time. Boxers, they train for 15, 20 rounds, and they know they only go in 12. Mm-hmm. And then just imagine what it had to be in the days of Ali and all of them, 15-round fights. Like, that's scheduled 15 rounds.
So they had to train for like 20.
Exactly. And if they had anything left in the tank, that's remarkable right there, man. So, I don't know. The Olympics is dope, though. I was watching a good women's wrestling final. I never really sat down and watched a whole lot of wrestling. I didn't watch Olympic wrestling much with the guys because I don't think it's especially at the higher weights. It's not like a dynamic sport because they're so big and stiff, and it's just like they're all on the same playing field, and there's not a lot of agility left.
Yeah, I watched it the other day. The men's wrestling finals.
Yeah,
I only watched it because there was a guy from Cuba who was going for his fourth gold medal in his fourth Olympics.
I wonder what weight class he was.
I think it was heavyweight.
Oh yeah.
And
That's just not exciting to me.
And he got it. It's like he blew like, and he was like, what made me really watch because he was 38 years old,
Yeah,
and this was his last Olympics, and he beat the dude 5-0. So like it wasn't even close.
yeah, 5-0. But see, 5-0, it can be a great match if you're into it. If you're into the struggle and the level of competition it takes to have a 5-0 match. But as far as action, that's not action. If you lose 5-0, yo, that's like watching a 6-3 football game in the NFL. You know, it's straight defense. Right? And if you got caught slipping twice, that's the match for you. You got taken down twice, and the other guy might have got a reversal on you. You know, when you got the start on them. You know what I mean? So that was interesting watching the women. The woman from Germany won gold. I can't recall the weight class, but it was an excellent finish. The lady from the United States, she really did a thing, and that was it. I saw the agility, and it kind of took me back. Like, oh yeah, this is wrestling. Like they're really shooting, and they're trying to sweep the leg and do all this other stuff. I saw a lot more moves out of women, so it was nice to watch that. Olympic badminton was crazy. Yo, I want to shout out all of the badminton players because I don't know how it's intense, man, and that's a small area to continuously go back and forth. Just that sport is in turbo, and I'm just like that, like in table tennis and all that. I used to work with a guy. He was in the Junior Olympics for Jamaica. He was globally ranked back in the 90s. He was my manager at one of the restaurants I worked at. Straight Jamaican dude. Shout out to Calvin. He was a table tennis player, and he was like, yo, I do it for real. He was like, so I was like, yo, we used to work at a sports bar. I'm like, yo, you want to jump on the table? He was like, nah, man. Like, I won't even enjoy it.
Yeah.
He was like, this is not even fun. Like, you don't know how to play my type of table tennis. And I was like, yeah, I'll get smoked.
Yeah, he made you feel real small.
Yeah,
smaller than what you are.
He did. But yeah, shout out to Calvin, man. Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 20. Let y'all notice the season finale, man. It's gonna be a little lull in sports. You're still gonna have baseball going on the end of the Olympics. We won't be here for a few weeks to talk about that, but we will be back for the NFL season.
Yes,
that's
sir.
where I feel like we're gonna shine.
Yeah.
It's a lot of meat on the bone when you're talking football.
Yeah.
Because there's 32 teams, 32 stories. There's already a lot going on. Like this guy right here, we have the TV on right now. The Vikings released a 2020 first round draft pick, Jeff Gladney, for assaulting a woman, man. And they got a lot of issues going on right now. The Minnesota Vikings have a lot happening. None of the quarterbacks want to get vaccinated, and Kellen Mond caught COVID. So now they don't have quarterbacks in camp.
No.
And then you got this guy getting locked up. And then a lot of the other players and a lot of the other units on the team don't want to get vaccinated. And Mike Zimmer's been fed up. He said, I'm not just fed up with the fact that the quarterbacks have it. I'm fed up with America in general. That's pretty much what he said. And I was like, man, that's one dude who's trying to get his camp and get his team in line and get them going this year because his job is on the line.
Yeah.
The sense of urgency is there for Minnesota, but we'll definitely get into the NFL talk. The big news in sports today, NFL free. I mean, I say NFL. NBA free agency, man.
Yeah, man.
It kicked off yesterday. Teams were finally allowed to agree to deals. There's the moratorium, and then Thursday they'll be allowed to actually sign the contracts and finalize the deals. And I've never been more anxious to do a show than I am now. I've done other podcasts, and there's been other hot button topics. I'm talking real world-changing stuff happening. But I've never been more anxious to do a podcast than this podcast right now, man. Yeah, NBA free agency kicked off. And I don't know if I'm more flabbergasted, outraged, and shocked at the reactions to the free agency moves or the free agency moves themselves.
Yeah, it's a lot of mixed emotions.
Super mixed emotions
with these free agent signings. People thinking their team is off of a few signings going to win the championship. I'm just interested to see like how to, I wish the season started tomorrow.
I do.
Like,
I do
I
too.
want to see like how everything is going to work. You know what I mean? Like, who do you think is winning the free agency so far?
Okay, my free agency winner, it would be between the Chicago Bulls because they made all solid moves. All their moves made sense, right? If you're looking at where the Bulls were and where they're trying to get to, it makes sense. You're elevating and you're taking the next step. You're getting to the step where you're one player away from really being in that conversation of, catapulting to the top of the East. I don't know if there's many winners to me. I wasn't feeling many, like a lot of moves. There's been solid moves made, but I don't know if teams are winners because they've counterbalanced the solid moves I saw with inexplicable things. And one of the things is I get called a hater a lot. People are like, oh, you're a hater. You're hating. You don't like nothing. You don't like none of these moves. You don't like nobody. And I'm here to kill a lot of teams. Dave, I'm killing teams today.
Yes.
I'm killing teams today.
Except for the Bulls.
Except for the Bulls. I think that's the one team. The Knicks. The Knicks are winners because they brought back guys that are hustle players and they landed Fournier. I just saw they landed Evan Fournier. That's good. So they added shooting where they didn't have shooting. There was an incremental move. It's not the move that's going to put them over the top. I'm not one of those reactive fans. We're real basketball people. We understand where the Knicks are. They had one decent year in 10 years. Now it's time to have 2 decent years and be a little bit better than last year.
Right.
You lost to Atlanta because you didn't have a knockdown shooter that you could go to outside of Reggie Bullock, who's not really a knockdown shooter.
Right.
He's a shooter, but he's not consistent enough. He doesn't have that polish yet.
Right. And we all know that the NBA is better when the Knicks are relevant.
It's way better. Basketball is better when the Northeast is relevant. When from Philly to Boston, these teams are making it happen. And this is much needed. But I respected every move they made, and I don't think they're done.
Right.
Derrick Rose contract, all right, 3 years, 43, right. But you can get out from under that.
And I get it because he knows the system.
Yeah,
he knows Tibbs' system. That's why. And then they re-signed Taj Gibson for like 1 year, $2.7 million.
They did.
So those two guys, even though they're older, they know Tibbs' system. So Tibbs know if I throw them two guys out there, I don't have to say anything to them. I got to say something to Fournier. I got to say something to Julius Randle. I got to say something to Bullock or Mitchell Robinson. I don't have to say nothing to Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson because they know my system.
They know the system. They're building.
Yeah.
This was a free agency period where they're building upon what they already have in place because the foundation has been laid. I like some of what the Pelicans did. I wish they could have brought Lonzo Ball back. I thought I saw something developing there, but there's financial issues, and I think they want to give more touches to Zion. I think they see that Zion's ready to take that next step. He's ready to be the ball dominant scoring player that he can be. And Brandon Ingram is ready to get those touches, be the facilitator, the creator, everything they need him to be as the number 2 down there. And they brought in some solid players to fill out that roster. And I think they got a little more athletic. We talked about last week with the Steven Adams, Jonas Valanciunas swap. They got a little more fleet of foot in the front court because, you don't really need a banger down there. You need somebody that can move around and pull guys out a little bit. So Zion can have his lane.
If New Orleans isn't careful, they're gonna lose Zion.
Yeah,
like that's just especially by trading Lonzo Ball. Zion said last year that him, Lonzo Ball, and Brandon Ingram are like really tight, and he hoped they all stay together.
Yeah.
By trading Lonzo Ball, I don't think that's gonna sit well with Zion and his camp.
I don't think it sits well either. So it's going to be up to the new coach to show Zion, hey, this is what the vision was. Like, I just hope they have their vision in place, but I don't think it was bad. But let's get to killing. And we got to start from the top, man, when we kill these free agency moves, man. It's time to start from the top. Everybody's favorite. Space Jam 2, the star of Space Jam 2. Now they're filming Uncle Drew Part 2 out there. The Los Angeles Lakers, man.
Yeah.
You know what? I gotta give it up to LeBron. I'm gonna clap it up for LeBron for always making headlines. He gets to. I like. You know why I love LeBron now? I don't dislike him in sports anymore. I love him because he exposes people who don't know basketball, and he gets people in their emotions and their feelings because they love him so much. They're blind to what is happening here.
Yes.
First, let's get your thoughts before I go in, before I crash the Hindenburg, because it's going down.
I'm not a fan of the moves. I do like the Kendrick Nunn move. I like that. I like that. I mean, younger guard, bring some energy.
I'm not a fan of Kendrick Nunn, but go ahead.
I kind of like the Malik Monk move, even though, like, what I said was Malik Monk has been a disappointment since he's been in the league.
NBA bust.
Right. But compared to what they signed, all of them, Wayne Ellington and Trevor Ariza and Kent Bazemore, compared to those three signings, I kind of like the Monk and Kendrick Nunn signing because they're younger and they can bring some energy.
Okay.
I'm cool with the Dwight Howard move because I was saying they needed to bring back one of them, McGee or Dwight Howard, just to have an athletic five that could run the floor.
I got you.
Because Marc Gasol isn't it. But other than that, they got a over 35 league.
They definitely do.
Like, I'm not a fan of Bazemore, not a fan of Wayne Ellington. Those two guys, they're gonna say, "Oh, we picked them up because they could shoot, they could play defense, or whatever." By midseason, the naysayers or the experts, the LeBron fans are gonna say, "Oh, the Lakers need shooting."
Oh, LeBron just doesn't have the shooters. This is why they're number 6 in the West. We just don't have the shoot. LeBron doesn't have what he needs. Listen, LeBron gets what he wants, but
every time,
yes. But for the third time in his career, what he wants is not available. So he's got to take what he can get. And that is the Lakers offseason moves right now. Because they added Russell Westbrook, the clankety clank general. He's the prime minister of bricks, the mayor of Brick City, Russell Westbrook. Sub 30% career 3-point shooter, and he's getting worse as he gets older. He's no longer explosive. Then let's talk about the Dwight Howard acquisition. Dwight Howard, he played respectably for Philly this year. I appreciated everything he did as a Sixers fan. Is he really an upgrade over Drummond?
No.
You got worse there because now your backup big man is not as good as the one you gave up. He's not as youthful, athletic, or as quick. Dwight Howard has even less moves than an unathletic Andre Drummond. Dwight Howard averaged about 9 and 7 this year. Andre Drummond averaged 15 and 12. I would prioritize bringing him back and figuring out what I can do with Gasol, but Gasol opted in on him.
Yeah.
So that's that. That's that. Another stationary player, a big body. It's like parking a refrigerator on the court, on a dolly and just rolling it around and parking it every single time. There's no athleticism there outside of Anthony Davis.
Right.
All right. So you're looking at, all right, so they acquired Westbrook. You talked about Kendrick Nunn. He's just a guy.
Just a guy.
He never peaked in Miami. That's why he's out there on the market now, because they were hoping that something was going to happen. At this point in his career, he's just a guy. Who else? Name
Trevor Ariza.
Trevor Ariza. Once again, another shot fighter. Trevor Ariza, we saw the decline in Miami. He and Iguodala couldn't make the difference that Miami was hoping for. Trevor Ariza is done up. It's another older guy. He may be able to shoot, but who's going to create for him when no one else can shoot? That's my concern.
Kent
Bazemore, another guy. I don't want to call him NBA junk because he performs at the level that he's at. Like he's not NBA junk, but he's just a guy. He's NBA fodder. Like, hey, you're a roster spot. Congratulations, you made it. Everybody respects you in your family. That's it.
Carmelo
Anthony. Carmelo
I
Anthony.
think before you get it, I think this Carmelo Anthony signing with the Lakers is 2 to 3 years too late.
Way too late. Carmelo Anthony played admirably for the Blazers because he really didn't have to defend.
Mhm.
And their whole success was predicated on offense. So he really just had to come in and provide some scoring off the bench
Mhm.
and just kind of get decent looks up while Lillard and company were sitting.
Mhm.
On this team, Carmelo is probably better than all of the younger, even though nobody's young that they signed, everybody's in mid-30s.
Mhm.
He's better than all the other guys they signed. So what are you expecting from Carmelo? That's the question. If you're the Lakers, are you starting Carmelo at this point in his career? Because he's better than your entire bench.
One Laker fan I was talking to said that he believes Malik Monk is going to start the 2.
If Malik Monk is starting the 2, the Lakers are going to be barely getting into the playoffs. This is what I'm saying. Lakers fans. And then I hear, some sports writers applauding this. And I heard some sports writers killing it. This should be killed. This is awful. This is not basketball sense. This is showing that, listen, LeBron's at the end of the line, man. What the Lakers can do, they're out of moves. They're spinning their wheels. None of these players match. None of these players make sense. They lost Caruso to the Bulls. Another great signing by the Chicago Bulls. That's depth. I just don't see where people are looking and say, if Kawhi goes back to the Clippers, the Lakers can compete with them. And if Kawhi's healthy.
Yeah, I think Kawhi's going to be out this season coming up.
You think he's going to miss the whole season?
Yeah, with that ACL. And we already know how Kawhi is.
Yeah.
Any little nick and bump and bruise, he's gonna be out. My thing with the Lakers, all these signings is everybody is already picking them to win a championship.
I don't know how.
Because of names, because of the names that they signed, they're picking them to win a championship. And my thing is, I've been saying this since they signed Westbrook. Before they signed all the other guys, I said, when the Lakers lose in the playoffs or get to the finals and lose, or during the season have a loser streak, they're going to say LeBron needs help.
It's always the thing. There's going to be a move at the deadline. Nobody wants the players they signed. They don't even want these guys.
No. And then that's what they're going to say. LeBron needs help. LeBron needs shooters. The Lakers were at the bottom of the league in 3-pointers last year, and you go trade for Russell Westbrook.
The general clankety clank, empty triple double man.
Like, I don't get it. But for Laker, I'm not even gonna say Laker fan. For LeBron fans' sake, I hope this works for them. And question.
Okay. Shoot.
What's the only thing Westbrook is missing on his resume is a championship, right?
Yes.
He done did everything individual.
Well, he's missing a jump shot, but yes.
He done average triple doubles. He done got MVP.
I got you.
He did that. Do you think his ring, if the Lakers win the ring, if he's only averaging about 13 points a game and they win the ring, do you think he would feel a part of that?
He shouldn't feel a part of that.
Now,
I guess he could, yeah, but is he going to be satisfied playing that role?
Right. Now, I can see if they win the ring and he's still doing Westbrook things and they win, then I can see he's feeling like, all right, I really earned this ring.
Right.
But if he's only averaging 13 and like 6 rebounds, like, are you really a part of that?
No.
Or you're just going to do the George Teague and just the rest of the classmates got the A, did all the work, and then my name was on the paper.
He's basically going to be a marginal upgrade over Dennis Schrader. So yeah, I mean, if they win, he can say, "Yeah, I was there. Remember, I played."
Mm-hmm.
But it's like Gary Payton when he won with the Heat. You didn't really move the needle.
No,
you just weren't worse than the guy that they had before.
Mm-hmm.
So, and here's my problem. So the Russell Westbrook thing is puzzling to me Because when he's on the court with LeBron, who's going to get out of the way for who? And how does he average this triple-double? Are they going to let him grab cheap rebounds like they do in every other team where the big man boxes out two other people like an offensive tackle and then lets Westbrook grab the rebound and running up the court? And is LeBron running with him? No, LeBron's not running anymore. He's a half-court player now. So, and then, okay. So you say, hey, Westbrook is going to be the general of the bench, the floor general. Who's going to pass it to that can shoot? They're going to sag off him the way Philly did. He couldn't help the Wizards at all this year when they played against good teams, because especially in the playoffs, because he couldn't shoot.
People fail to realize when Houston played the Lakers in a bubble, when LeBron was guarding Westbrook, he literally stood in the paint while Westbrook had the ball at the three-point line. And now that's the person you go sign.
You know who's the victim in all this? Anthony Davis, man. He fell under the sway of Clutch Sports. He fought his way out of a situation that could have been corrected. He could have just waited for free agency and gone elsewhere to a team that had a team in place and was ready and had the cap space. But he trusted LeBron. They stole a championship in the bubble. And that was the peak of this Lakers LeBron regime. And now, where their franchise is, they mortgaged all of the youth for a bubblegum championship, and they're going to be bad for 8 years again in about 2 years.
I believe it.
This is by far. I would have rather seen them almost blow it up, honestly.
It's going to get there.
Yeah. Because I think at best they're a 5th seed. I'm looking at the West. The Warriors just made some great pickups. One of them I really love, the stretch forward, Nemanja Bjelica, right? And they also picked up
Otto Porter.
A much better player than the guys they were putting on the court last year. At least he's a veteran that knows what he's doing. He's NBA junk, though.
Yeah, my thing with Otto Porter was, like, when I wanted him out of Chicago, was he just couldn't stay healthy.
Yeah, he couldn't stay healthy. But also, I think his role is greatly reduced here. And if it's one thing, he's going to get clean looks at threes this year.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking at the Warriors at the top. Clippers, still where they are. The Nuggets, Jazz, Lakers are that next step down from there.
Okay.
I honestly think 5 or 6 right now
for
in
the
West.
Lakers.
5 or 6. And these other teams aren't done either.
Right.
I'm talking about these other squads in the West that are above them, that I feel are above them. They're not done making moves.
No.
I just, for the Lakers to be this big name, flagship, representative of NBA history franchise, they've backed themselves into a corner that's impossible. And if Anthony Davis gets hurt, do you know how bad it's going to get there?
Yes.
Russell Westbrook is NBA junk. And Lakers fans, they're a serious fan base. They're going to crush him. If he thinks people were throwing stuff on him now, wait till Anthony Davis goes down with a strained calf. God forbid. It's going to get ugly there. I'm killing this whole free agency. None of these players match. They're just signing names. They're just bringing in bodies to fortify LeBron from having to play long minutes. That's what it looks like. They're just bringing in guys to soak up minutes. Terrible. And
the Nuggets signed Jeff Green.
Yes, I did see that. That was a solid pickup for them. I love Jeff Green. I'm glad he's still getting his looks. But let's talk about another team I'm going to kill, man. And they made one decent move. They brought in JaVale McGee, the Phoenix Suns.
Yes.
So they brought in JaVale McGee. Good job. After you solidified the fact that you'll never win a championship. You gave Chris Paul the unthinkable.
4 years.
4 years.
I don't like the number of years.
I don't like the money or the number of years.
I don't like the money.
Who's gonna want that contract?
I think out of them 4 years, I think Chris Paul might have one more year of like top tier basketball, like he played for Phoenix last year and for OKC the year before.
One more year is right.
And then I have him with a year or two of that contract of just being able to outsmart defenses.
savvy, basketball savvy. That's
And
it.
then year 3 or 4, I think.
It's a wrap. It's going to become a bad contract.
Yeah.
I say this about players that are considerably younger than Chris Paul. Chris Paul's 36 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And what's crazy is 36 used to be the age where they put a cap on how much older players could get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Paul, being the leader of the Players Association, voted for this thing to go up to 38. So he voted for himself and got his money. So congratulations to him for the finesse of the century.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, 4 years, $120 million for a 36-year-old point guard that's undersized and declining in athleticism and explosiveness. That's it, man. That's it. Because now Phoenix is completely dependent on Devin Booker elevating.
Yes.
And DeAndre elevating and Ayton elevating at a rapid rate. Because like you say, they have a year, maybe 2 at best to continue to compete. But with the Warriors coming back, Jazz being a year more experienced and better, Nuggets making improvements every day, Jamal Murray coming back, I don't know. I don't see it. People think I hate on the Suns. I don't believe in that core there.
Mm-mm.
I believed in Chris Paul, and he was the guy that the Lakers should have tried to land. I would have done whatever. I would have cleared the deck.
Yeah.
Because Chris Paul makes people better.
Yes.
But he should not have gone back to Phoenix. You did what you had to do. You proved your point. Now you take your pick of where you want to go and go win a championship there.
I think Chris Paul, what made him go back to Phoenix was when
they had the money.
The Lakers got Westbrook.
Yeah.
I think that just like solidified it. Like, all right, I'm just gonna stay where I'm at.
I mean, I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. Maybe the Lakers didn't want to sign and trade for Chris Paul. You know what I mean? Do the sign and trade.
No, he opted out, so he'd just been a straight free agent.
Yeah, but they had to sign and trade because they had no cap space for Westbrook. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that maybe played a part into the deal, which is why a lot of teams aren't making moves. But that was a horrible. I just thought a horrible move for these young guys because at the moment Chris Paul leaves, if you still have Booker and Ayton, I believe Ayton's ceiling is solid big man. That's it. He
reached the ceiling already.
I think he hit his ceiling, which is why JaVale McGee was signed, because there was a clear lack of physicality and rim protection and athletic quickness from the center position. Mm-hmm. JaVale McGee honestly would probably start if it was me. And I say that with all sincerity because he knows his role and he's going to play. He's just going to come out there and do exactly what you need him to do. Mm-hmm. He's never going to let you down because what he does is invaluable as far as rebounding. And he's going to be down there scrapping for boards. He's long. He can jump. He plays above the rim.
He's going to block shots.
He's going to block shots.
Alter shots.
Right. He's going to hustle too. Mm-hmm. He's going to run the floor, rim to rim. Mm-hmm. He's going to try to get he's going to rim run. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing you're not getting from Ayton. I don't think that extra gear is there. But in about 2 years, we're going to be looking at Devin Booker begging to get out of there because the ship then fell apart. That's what I'm seeing from the Phoenix Suns. I have no faith that they're even going to contend. I thought that was a crazy deal. They shouldn't have done it. You sold your soul to the devil, just like this next team, the Miami Heat.
You better make people mad.
Listen. If you're a Miami Heat fan, you should be mad because you after D Wade, there's usually a drop off when you lose a superstar for at least 5 or 6 years. Mm-hmm. They got lucky. Mm-hmm. They got Jimmy Butler, even though Butler was near the end because he's worn down from playing for Tibbs. He went to Philly. That was the max, the limit of his powers offensively. People say, "Oh, he was getting buckets in Philly." Yes, because Embiid was getting buckets. Because J.J. Redick was getting buckets, because Tobias Harris was getting buckets, and because Ben Simmons was guarding the best defender. So, of course, or the best scorer on the other team. So, of course, Jimmy Butler was going to have pretty much his best offensive showing of his career, other than Minnesota, where they were a losing team, like pretty much. They were at the bottom of the West.
He put up numbers?
But it was bubble Jimmy. We don't believe in the bubble. Tyler Hero's not an NBA caliber player right now. And Duncan Robinson, for the one thing he does well, he's not a difference maker. Like that team would never look at what they became this year and look at how they got ushered out of the playoffs. They got marched right to the parking lot. Jimmy Butler averaged 10 shot attempts a game knowing his team was outmanning out good, he didn't even go down there and lay it on the line. People love to kill other athletes for not giving it 100%. Jimmy Butler didn't even attempt more than 10 shots per game. He's already on the decline. And then you want to extend him, give him a super max. And then you give Kyle Lowry, another undersized old man who lost his job in Toronto to Fred VanVleet. You want to give him 3 years, $90 million guaranteed? The general rule of thumb should say if Fred VanVleet's not getting this, Kyle Lowry shouldn't get this because Fred VanVleet took his job and Kyle Lowry was Mr. Raptor. He's the greatest Raptor of all time.
I beg to differ on that one.
But what I'm saying is because he brought the ring there, right? Like
he ain't bring no ring nowhere. Kawhi brought that ring.
All I'm saying is this is a guy who was a staple in Toronto.
Right.
He's Reggie Jackson to Toronto. Mm-hmm. We all know Reggie Jackson's not the greatest Yankee of all time, but he gets that respect. Mm-hmm. Kyle Lowry is the Reggie Jackson of, and we're talking about baseball, Reggie Jackson, for all the young people that'll tune in and listen. He lost his job there, and Miami thinks he's going to come there and make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, let's just talk basketball for a moment. Look at all the point guards up and coming in the East. For all that y'all say about Ben Simmons, if Ben Simmons has to guard either Kyle Lowry or Jimmy Butler, they're out of the game. Is Lonzo Ball not locking up Kyle Lowry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yes. I don't think they're better than the Bulls right now. I think LaMelo Ball has his way with Kyle Lowry. Charlotte is now, they're going to be a playoff team. They only missed it because Ball got hurt.
Yeah, and the Bulls only missed it because LaVine got COVID.
Exactly. So you're not telling me Kyle Lowry is on the level of a Kyrie Irving because that's what they're going to need. Mm-hmm. The Miami Heat don't need anything but a superstar to come there and save them.
And they don't have a superstar.
They don't have a superstar. Kyle Lowry is a B-level player, and Jimmy Butler is a B-plus player at this point, and he's fading. He was A-. Now he's going to B+ because you saw it. Chris Middleton ate his lunch and took his heart. He took his heart right out his chest. Mortal Kombat. He was in the pit. Fatality. I like. Those are two players that are on the decline, and I think these NBA franchises, they prey on the fact that their fan bases are gullible enough to think that this is them trying to improve.
Right.
This was to appease the people and say, hey, we're not losing. Please come buy season tickets.
Mm-hmm.
We tried, guys. In April, when they're fighting for the 8th or 7th seed just to get bounced out by Brooklyn or Boston, what are they going to still hang that flag of, oh, we play hard defense, we hustle. Yes, you get hustled right out of the playoffs again. You're going to get swept. You're not better than Philly. I heard somebody say today that they're top 3 in the East. A Sixers fan said this to me. I said, in what world?
That Miami was
a top 3 in the East. I saw it on First Take today.
Yeah.
I heard it on Fox Sports. That right now they're better than Brooklyn? Or they're competing with Brooklyn?
Or Milwaukee.
Who's going to guard KD? Who's guarding Harden? Oh, I guess Kyle Lowry's the stopper. That he's going to solve the James Harden riddle for everyone in the NBA. Kyle Lowry, is he going to take Jrue Holiday out the game? Is Jimmy Butler going to take Chris Middleton out the game? Oh, no, you know what? Jimmy Butler's going to lock down Giannis. I forgot. Miami Heat fans, y'all getting swindled. They spent up all your cap money. You're a small market. The owners can't afford to do any more than what they did.
Well, they signed PJ Tucker.
Okay. How many years left of effective basketball does PJ Tucker have? He's been playing center and power forward the last 4 or 5 years. PJ Tucker is worn down. All right. How much more jail basketball does he have left in him?
Jail basketball?
A jail ball.
Straight
out the county. Elbow in your chest as soon as you get the ball. He's doing what he has to do, though. I respect PJ Tucker. But how much basketball does he have left? And it's a lot easier to do that when you're next to Giannis and you're next to Brook Lopez and you're next to Chris Middleton, all big guys that play both ways. Now, you're next to Bam Adebayo. This is what I'm saying, man. This is what I'm saying. Where's this Miami Heat improvement? I don't see it. They just got older and more expensive.
So, all right, we both agree that Brooklyn is number 1 in the East next year.
At this current point, the Sixers have not made many moves. and the Bucks. It's between Brooklyn and Milwaukee. I still think the fact that Milwaukee's essentially returning the same team, I think that they have to stay at the top. They're the champs till they get beat.
All right, so you got Milwaukee 1.
Yes.
Milwaukee
Brooklyn
1,
2.
Brooklyn 2. Y'all 3.
Philly 3. We've been top 3 even prior to this year.
Right. So we already know that those 3 are just
that's the top East. That's the top of the East.
So who do you have at 4?
See, at 4,
because even with the moves we made, I still think we're maybe
5 or 6.
5 or 6.
5 or 6. Atlanta, you have to give them serious consideration because they got to bring back John Collins.
Yeah, they just offered him 5 years, so they're just waiting for him to accept it.
Okay, they got to bring back John Collins. I think Trae Young just got his super max. Shout out to him because I honestly think we'll get to this, in a second. But that team, this is their window. The Hawks, yes. Yeah. Now I'm not saying it's their window to win a championship because I don't think they'll get another year where Brooklyn and Philly are injured and going through what they went through this year.
Right.
That's over. Right. But this is their window. If they're going to take a shot at maintaining or elevating at least to that 3 spot, possibly, they're going to have to make a move during the season.
To hold down that
4 spot.
4 spot.
Yeah. They'll be a 4 or 5 team. Yeah. So I'm looking at where the Hawks are at number 4. Miami Heat cannot compete with the Atlanta Hawks. They grew last year. They took another step. So they're not even there.
Right.
They're not competing with the Bulls because they don't have a player that can stop Vucevic, first of all. And then you add DeMar DeRozan, Lonzo Ball. Like, come on. I don't see, and Zach LaVine is still there. How do you look at the Miami Heat and say they're better than the Bulls?
Right.
Then you're looking at, Miami Heat better be looking at Charlotte.
Or the Knicks.
I don't even think they can compete with the Knicks. Knicks are too big. Knicks are too big and too physical.
So
physicality is actually what's costing Miami, size and physicality.
So you're saying that the Miami Heat, order for them to make the playoffs, they got to come out of that play-in, that play-in tournament.
Most likely, yes. Most likely, yes. And I think as of right now, they're neck and neck with the Hornets. I don't know. I think they're bottom of the East, man. Bottom half of the playoffs in the East.
Right.
That's where I put them. I just don't see how the sports writers and people are so excited about Kyle Lowry. This guy was benched last year because they were waiting to trade him, and nobody wanted to trade for him. So you mean to tell me he's just going to appear in Miami and become Jesus Shuttlesworth? Like, come on, man. I don't get it.
Yeah, man. Look, I'm with you.
I mean, act like he's Pistol Pete.
Only value I see, like I'm like before I say that, like people that know me know I really don't like Kyle Lowry. I just think like watching him in Toronto, I just think all he does is just run into people and fall on the floor.
He does. He does.
But the value that I see that he brings to Miami is he'll bring some kind of a toughness more than Kendrick Nunn and Gordon Dragic brought.
Patrick Beverley at this point is probably slightly better than Kyle Lowry.
Ooh, really?
Because he's developed a three-pointer, and I think his three-pointer is a lot more reliable if you judge this past season than Kyle Lowry's. And Patrick Beverley can defend bigger, and he's more athletic.
Yeah, he can. Yeah, he definitely can defend bigger.
Yeah. He can defend multiple positions.
But look, that's cool. I hear you. I agree with you.
Yeah.
But what Miami has on their roster right now and what they had on their roster last year or 2 years ago, even in the bubble, Kyle Lowry at the guard position, he will bring toughness that they haven't had since Tim Hardaway.
Here's what I'm gonna say. All right, yes, he's gonna bring a level of toughness, but no talent. I don't think this is like a major talent upgrade, and it's not enough considering what the rest of the East is going on. Like, is he better than Marcus Smart?
Kyle Lowry?
Yeah.
I think I will go with Kyle Lowry over Marcus Smart.
That's tough, man. That's tough.
I think I would.
That's tough. And Marcus Smart's, everybody's gone now, so he should have his role this year. Yeah. But I'm not sure that at this point in his career, he's much better than Marcus Smart.
And I believe, like, with Kyle Lowry there, I think Jimmy doesn't get worn down as much trying to initiate some offense for Miami. I think Kyle Lowry could bring the ball up and then get people to where they need to be, and then give the ball to Jimmy and be like, all right, here. Because I tell people a lot, like, if you're a scorer, then I really don't want you bringing a ball up the court and then still trying to do what you do.
Yeah.
Let someone else bring the ball up the court, get the offense set, and then give you the ball and then get out the way. That's how I look at it.
So here's my thing about Kyle Lowry. Career 14 point a game score, 14.9 points for a career, 6.2 assists. At age 36, I'm just not sure that he has the kind of offense needed to match the offense that other teams are going to give him. Like, I like that you're going to have attitude and toughness, but you got superstars in the East now. There's superstars there. And honestly, Zach LaVine's trajectory is trending toward, I don't know if it's superstar, but it's high-level star.
Right.
I honestly like Zach LaVine's ceiling a lot more than I love Devin Booker's because there's explosiveness and an athletic dominance that he can have now. And now he's got people on his side, like, and he's got soldiers around him that can help him elevate. Kyle Lowry, he doesn't help anybody elevate, and there's no one on that team that's going to help him play like at a higher level. I just don't think there's a higher level for Miami to hit. I think Bam Adebayo, his limited offense, is going to handicap them when it comes time to have to play these top teams in the league, let alone the East.
Right.
I mean, getting up in everybody's chest every game can only take you so far. At some point, you're going to need a bucket getter. And I just don't think their style of basketball wins a championship. They remind me of the Chicago Bulls after Derrick Rose was injured and they were trying to rebuild. They're the same makeup, same type of team, man.
Yeah, trying to just play a hard-nosed defense.
Trying to play hard-nosed defense and, just get to the playoffs and
muddy the game up.
Yeah, just muck the game up. But I don't think they're as good as the Knicks at doing that right now. That's what I'm saying. I'm killing the Miami Heat for that. I don't agree with anything they did. I thought that was stupid. It was wasteful spending. You could have got 3 solid players for what you gave Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, by you killing the Heat, I might have to watch your back when you come out.
Listen, it is what it is. B-Mac, Tay Wade, all you Miami Heat fans, yo, talk to me, man.
And you calling names out.
Listen, man. Listen. That was y'all have had one of the worst offseason signings. Welcome to the bottom half of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Welcome. You and the Hornets, and I don't even think the Wizards are back in the playoffs.
No,
they're done up. And I think eventually Bradley Beal requests that trade.
Yeah.
I think it's going down. Where do you see Bradley Beal possibly going, man? This is interesting because there's a couple players. Him and Lillard were on 2 teams that we didn't see do much in free agency. Where do you possibly see Bradley Beal getting traded to, man?
I thought Bradley Beal was going to wind up in Golden State.
Yeah.
Before the draft, I thought Golden State had the draft capital to offer the Wizards for Bradley Beal. They went on and drafted 2 players, defensive-minded players, length.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Oh, and Washington brought in the legendary Kyle Kuzma and Montrezl Harrell.
And they're close to signing Spencer Dinwiddie.
Not a needle mover, but he'll give them more efficient basketball than Russell Westbrook.
Yeah,
if he's healthy. If he's healthy. The way he set out, you don't really see guys at his level come back and be who they were. But yeah, that'll be some interesting basketball to watch.
I think Dinwiddie will be fine because it wasn't a complete tear of the ACL, it was a partial.
Yeah.
So he could have came back at some point during the playoff run.
They were saying he wasn't really feeling what was going on with the organization.
He wasn't too beat for what was going on. So I think he just sat out because he wanted to.
Yeah.
But I think he should be back to somewhat what he was with Washington. I think it'll be a good pickup for Washington. Now, still you're bringing in someone that is not going to take Bradley Beal shine.
Let's talk about the Portland Trailblazers, because here's another move I got to kill. Norman Powell, 5 years, $90 million. Norman Powell is a guy, and he's going to become NBA junk because I think this contract is far above what he's worth.
That's your favorite word.
NBA junk, man. That's a junk contract, man. Otto Porter was once a junk contract. I didn't understand Portland. You have one job, and that's to convince Damian Lillard that things are going to get better. He's telling everybody he's not demanding a trade, but the media is now starting to disagree because someone's leaking out this information. I'm tired of these athletes saying, "Oh, if it didn't come from my mouth, don't respect it." No, it came from your best friend that's around you all the time. like TDE and Ricky Jarrett and Ballers. You know what I mean? It's your homie who's putting this out there.
Just keep going. I'm trying to find out who Portland signed.
Oh, yeah. Well, they gave Norman Powell that contract.
Mm-hmm.
What does Damian Lillard do now if all you see that they did during free agency is sign Norman Powell? And you didn't make any trades. You didn't try to retool this thing. You didn't reorganize this team. You signed Norman Powell to 5 years, 90.
Yeah, that's I don't know. Like that's crazy. Norman Powell only helps them. He's like you say, he's a guy.
Energy guy.
He's a guy.
He's an energy guy.
He's a 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
Like he plays defense. I give him that.
But the 3 is not like
it's not
impressive.
Yeah, it's not like knockdown. And they signed Cody Zeller to a 1-year deal.
Congratulations, Portland. You just lost Damian Lillard. You're gonna have to trade him mid-season. He might hold out on them.
I mean, like,
I would.
I don't know where they go because, like we just talked about, everyone in the West is getting better, whether through free agency or coming back from injury.
Yeah,
they're getting better. Portland now is gonna be one of them teams, like we said with Miami, that's gonna be fighting in the play-in. They're going to be in that 7 to 10 range.
Yeah.
And losing in the first round to
Golden State
or Denver
or Utah
or like, so I
think they just lost Damian Lillard by, you know what it is? And I think franchises make this mistake. They're like, yeah, we know we got to do something, but you know, we don't want to start over. You can't steal second base and keep your foot on first. You know, and that's what you got to do. You got to make a move, man. You can't do it. You can't stand pat right now. Either you could field for where we're projecting, because I totally agree with you. I think you can field the same exact team if you just trade Dame Lillard and take back a bunch of stuff from somebody. Mm-hmm. I know there's an offer out there that keeps them in playoff contention because you still have CJ McCollum, you still have Nurkic. You know, you could bring in a Tobias Harris in pieces and still be at the same place you were, and then also raid someone else for draft picks, or maybe get somebody's draft capital in a 3-team deal. There's ways you can get what you need. I don't understand why you're not trading him if you're not going to make any real moves to put anybody around him. Like, now is the time. It's only going to get worse from here. And when it becomes a buyer's market, you lose your leverage because Damian Lillard now controls what's going to happen with your franchise once he starts the mutiny.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, you're not trying to get better.
No.
So I just think you might as well, because you can get whatever you want. If you tell all the teams in the NBA that Damian Lillard is available, you can get whatever you want.
So, Dave, here's what I'm going to ask you. And, you know, people are talking about the Sixers not making moves. Sixers fans are going crazy. We just signed Drummond. First of all, I had someone tell me this. This is how I know people don't watch.
Signed Korkmaz too.
Yes, I love that. I love that re-signing. Korkmaz is a solid player, and he plays a valuable role.
That's your guy.
Yeah, that's my guy. He's a knockdown shooter. I had someone tell me Sixers signed Drummond. Simmons is definitely gone, as if they had something to do with each other. It was like, oh, more lack of floor spacing. I wanted to curse so bad, but I didn't want to get banned from Facebook because we have a podcast to do. It's my job to stay on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I was so like, everybody said, oh, we need to make a move to trade Simmons. Sixers are asking for too much.
They are.
As it stands right now, the facts remain. With Justin Embiid and Simmons leading your team, you're still top 3 in the East.
Yeah.
And that's with no bench. So you can try to plug different things in and still get the same result. If you're Portland and you have to give up Damian Lillard, you're going to want a player that's going to be around for at least 4 or 5 years, 6 years, and a player that elevates the level of your team. Would you not do the Ben Simmons for Lillard swap? Because you're getting a defensive player of the year candidate, a starting point guard that does make teams better. The Sixers are better with Ben Simmons. Now, there's a cap on how much better, but there's also other problems that factor into that. What I'm saying is, if you're Portland, is Ben Simmons a franchise player you're willing to take a bet on?
If I'm Portland and I know that
Simmons is under contract.
right, if I'm Portland and I know that it's like Dame is wants out,
Yeah.
then I would do it because I have to get something for him.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna let him hold out or let him leave for nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, because even like everybody knows, like in the in the NBA, like you don't just leave for nothing. Like
No.
if you sign with someone else, later on it's gonna come out to be it was a sign and trade. So you're gonna
Right.
get something. So if I could go get a Ben Simmons, maybe a Tobias Harris,
Yeah.
and maybe a few draft picks, I'd do it.
If I'm Portland,
Especially if I know that Dame absolutely wants out. Then I would like my hand would be forced.
If I'm Portland, I'm like, all right, give me Tobias because that contract is tradable. I'll take Thibault. I'll take somebody else from your bench and 3 draft picks.
Yeah.
And I'll take that because you're still making the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting value back, like players that could fit around CJ McCollum and Nurkic. You know, you get a stretch 4 and you get Thibault, who's a top level defender. He's a better version of Robert Covington in the making. You know, he could turn out to be really one of the top 3-and-D guys in the NBA in a couple of years' time.
Right.
And he's still under control under a rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why Portland is. So the value that some players have to your team is not the same as they'll have to other teams.
Right.
And I think that's what people need to understand when they're looking for all these trades and all these things to happen.
Right.
People got to understand now. Damian Lillard is losing value by the day to the Blazers, while Ben Simmons is gaining value by the day to the Sixers because they can't get better without him. If you trade Ben Simmons now, there has to be immediately another move to replace all that you're losing. And there's not many moves left out there because of you just saw what happened. All the free agents are off the board now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you're the Sixers or Blazers, the only way you can appease everybody is hoping that Kawhi just says, I'm coming to you, clear the deck. That's it.
Yeah, I'm just like, if with Portland, if you absolutely know that Dame is fed up and he really wants out, then you just got to trade him for what you can get. And I'm pretty sure you can get whatever you want, especially if you highlight the Sixers. The Sixers will love Damian Lillard.
Of course.
That will put the Sixers, if the Sixers land Damian Lillard, that puts them clearly over Milwaukee.
Clearly. I think so.
It'll be a 2-team race in the East.
Yes, I agree. I agree. And that's the thing. I think those 2 teams are the marriage is coming together right now. And I think as time is going, now you're starting to see the reports. Tobias Harris, the Sixers are starting to explore trade options for him, which is what I've been saying all along. He's making almost $40 million a year, and he'll have a lot more value elsewhere. Mm-hmm. But right now, for what he does and what we need him to do in our situation,
right,
we can't have that. You break his role up into multiple players or package multiple players up and get a superstar to counterbalance your deficiencies with Ben Simmons. Mm-hmm. Then we don't care if he shoots if Dame comes. We just need you to lock up, hustle, and run that point forward.
Right.
You know, so that point center when Embiid is out. You know, so it's going to be interesting. Any other free agent moves that you feel like were big time or that worth discussing? I think we touched on most of it.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything else that really like. Let me look.
I mean, this was a big day. There was a lot to talk about.
Yeah,
because I think just a lot of teams really made some thought-provoking moves. I didn't see anybody that made a real, like championship level move. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I love what the Bulls did, man. I love what they did.
Only other thing, I like Patty Mills going to the Nets.
I like that too.
I like Patty Mills.
But they lost Landry Shamet. They lost Spencer Dinwiddie. They lost Jeff Green. Their bench just got thinner. And I like Patty Mills, but that's gonna be tough.
I'm not really too interested in on them losing Spencer Dinwiddie because we ain't really see him.
Yeah, we didn't really get to see him with them. Yeah,
Landry Shamet, you're replacing that with Patty Mills.
Yeah, with Patty Mills. Yeah.
So that's a wash. It's gonna be big that you lost Jeff Green.
Jeff Green, yes. They lost a very versatile player.
Yeah, that's
in my opinion. So I think they're going to struggle there as far as their bench is concerned.
The Nets picked up James Johnson, but
he's the guy at this point in his career.
Really doing too much.
And I like James Johnson if you just need a guy, but you're not making any noise.
They re-signed Blake Griffin.
Oh, okay.
Rudy Gay went to the Jazz.
Rudy Gay to the Jazz.
Yeah,
I missed that move. That is a good move.
It's a nice move.
Very nice move for them. Rudy Gay is still a capable NBA player. At this point in his career, he's no longer that B-level player, but he's probably a C-plus guy. He can make some things happen. I can see Rudy Gay, and he's somebody you don't have to worry about.
Reggie Bullock went to Dallas Mavericks.
Reggie Bullock to the Mavericks. As long as Kristaps Porzingis is there, making that money, the Dallas Mavericks will never improve. Luka is stuck. He's gonna have to force his way out of there. They say it's been very public and vocal that within that organization that he's displeased with where they're going because at this point they're still in that bottom of the West, sort of the bottom of the West playoff picture, not bottom of the Western Conference. But in that playoff picture, I don't think Dallas fits. They re-signed Tim Hardaway Jr., it made sense. But as long as Porzingis is there, I don't see improvement, man.
And the last one, the Steph Curry contract.
I love the Steph Curry contract, man. This is the Steph Curry era we're in. It's the Steph Curry Giannis era. These are the two most dominant players from last season. He's the first player in NBA history with two $200 million contracts, man. We called Kevin Garnett the big ticket back in the day. Steph Curry is killing that.
Yeah,
he's gonna be another one of those billionaire athletes, man. And I shout out to him, man. I love everything Steph Curry represents. He was drafted, he was developed, he fought through his injuries. He's probably the greatest comeback story as far as injury concerns is in professional sports. No one's ever come back from. He was on the edge of not being in the NBA. His ankles were that bad. And they took a chance on some surgeries. It worked out. And he ended up changing the game of basketball forever, man. And I'm glad he got this. This is a legacy contract.
Yeah.
This is, you know what? We're going to send you out on top. It's not the Chris Paul 4 years, $120 million. Or what is it, $140 million?
This is a contract that you're going to retire a Warrior.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. You're the greatest Warrior of all time. You've surpassed Wilt Chamberlain. You're just the greatest, man. That was a great contract. I love seeing that. And like I said, I love the Trae Young, Luka Doncic, and I want to touch on this real quick, right? All right, at this point in their careers, because I got killed during their rookie year saying that I thought Trae Young was the real rookie of the year, and I thought building a team around him was more beneficial than building a team around Luka. At this point in their careers, Trae Young has done more. He's gotten farther.
He's
gotten farther. And he was the centerpiece of that team.
Yeah, I just think Atlanta built their team
a lot better
than Dallas.
But now going back to the redraft at this point, I know it's early in their careers. Are you still taking Luka over Trae Young?
Did Luka go over Trae Young?
I think so, didn't he?
Because
some people, because I guess regardless of the draft order, some people think Luka's the better player. I'm one of those people. I disagree.
Right.
I think Luka his measurables are great. Tall, big, but defensively, neither of them are good at defense.
Yeah.
But if you look at Trae gets buckets and assists, but I think they do it. He does it a lot more efficiently than Luka does. Luka puts up a lot of shots.
Yeah, Luka puts up a lot of bad shots.
Yeah,
Luka puts up a lot of bad shots, and he dominates the ball more than Trae.
And I think Trae plays the point guard position.
Yeah.
The point guard position a lot better. There's nobody else. He is the second most dangerous pick and roll player in the NBA outside of Steph Curry. I think he's Steph Curry light.
I think I think Detroit just drafted Luka with Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
I mean I think they just drafted him. So we'll see another Luka in the league. Another 6.
Luka went before Trae. So Luka went 3, Trae went 5.
And then they traded.
Yeah, then they traded. They traded. Yeah, they traded. But at this point, I will say this is trending in the way that I think Trae Young is to me, that's the guy I want to build around for the way the NBA is played now. and Luka's just not physical enough, man.
Right.
Like he can score 38 points, but it's not as impactful as Trae Young's 31 or Trae Young's 31 and 12 or Trae Young's assist numbers are off the charts too.
Yeah.
I don't think people understand that and they don't give him credit for that. So I thought his big contract extension was huge. I thought it was good. It was well deserved.
Yeah, well worth it. I mean, he got the Hawks to where they haven't been since what, Dominique?
Yeah.
I'm not like, I know they went far with Horford and Kyle Korver, but that team was
that
frauds.
team. Yeah, that team was fool's gold.
Yeah, they were.
It was a very weak East.
Yeah, they were frauds.
Yeah,
but yeah, like Trae really put them on his back. And,
he did.
Well, like I hope they can continue that, especially with Trae.
I do too.
But they have to re-sign John Collins. If they don't re-sign John Collins, I think all of this is just nothing.
Yeah, but they definitely did a much better job at putting the team together. Dallas needs to move off Porzingis very soon.
Now.
Yeah, like it has to happen yesterday.
Yeah,
2 days ago. Yeah, he should have been gone. But I don't know who's going to take him either. That's tough.
Yeah, I think that's.
Hey, maybe if you're the Warriors, you'll take Porzingis. Say Porzingis for Wiseman?
I wouldn't do it if I was.
You wouldn't do it if you were Golden State?
No.
Oh, all right. I mean, I'm just saying, like, I think he would fit. Just put him around other great players.
He definitely would fit.
Yeah.
But me personally, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, because
I'm not a Porzingis fan.
No, because like he's another one that can't stay on the floor.
And I don't think he's committed to basketball.
No.
Yeah, just everything about him, the way he carries himself.
Now,
I don't think he's committed to playing basketball in the NBA.
If I'm Golden State and I make that trade and I'm guaranteed that I'm getting Porzingis the way he played with the Knicks, I'll do it. Because that Porzingis he ran the floor. He went down low, got buckets, he hit threes, he blocked shots, he grabbed rebounds.
Yeah.
With this Porzingis in Dallas, he's just a bona fide pick and pop guy.
Broke Porzingis was a lot better than paid Porzingis.
Yes.
Oh, and I forgot, this is the one free agent signing where I'm going to salute everybody involved. I want to shout out the city of Cleveland. My man Jared Allen. 5 years, $100 million, man. I'm going to clap it up. I should have popped the champagne bottle for Jared Allen. I like when hustle players get paid, right? Because Jared Allen, he's the JaVale McGee type of guy. I'm just hoping this contract carries him to a situation where somebody's looking for that one thing that gets him over the top.
Right.
I hope his skill set at some point creates a trade scenario with Cleveland to where he can go be on a really good team and really just, be that Clint Capella.
Yeah.
Because I think there's a lot of growth left in him. I love the way Jared Allen plays basketball. He basically got the same contract Tristan Thompson got right before LeBron left Cleveland. And I love it, man. Shout out to Jared Allen. Keep on eating, baby. Cop that Bentley you always wanted. Start that business. Make those investments. Link up with Anderson Financial. You know what I'm saying? But that was NBA talk, man. We went in today. Look, come at me. I'm ready for it. Let's talk about the NFL news. So we were talking about the Vikings. They're fed up with what's going on. We were talking about the Giants today. They had a brawl at practice, man. How you feel about it? I like brawls at practice in the NFL, though. I'm old school.
Team camaraderie, man.
That's it. It's a team building.
Yeah, in his dope that Daniel Jones was at the bottom of the drink because he jumped in it. Like my offensive guys is in a little melee.
Is there footage?
No.
Yeah. I was because how did he end up on the bottom? Was he like standing there drinking Gatorade and everybody fell into him, or did he get involved and pull a guy down or get slammed and then everybody's? That's what I want to know, how Daniel Jones got involved. Because if Daniel Jones is out there fighting the linebacker, I'm picking the Giants to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC. Because that means that man has turned a corner that I didn't think he could.
Come on with it, baby.
Listen, man, if Daniel Jones is out there mixing it up, I'm all for it. The preseason starts next week, August 12th. I'm with it. Let's get it on. What did you think about the safety for the Panthers that knocked out the wide receiver on the practice field? Did you see the foot? First of all,
I did not.
Okay, so it looked like the wide receiver was going for a catch, and then the safety, his name is like eBay Ikde or something like that. The wide receiver bobbles the ball, and then as he's bobbling and reaching, he takes a headshot, and it definitely looked like it was too late for the guy to pull back, in my opinion. but you still knocked out another player, and he had to get carted off and taken to the hospital, and he got cut for that. I don't know if you should get cut for that, especially if the guy didn't mean it and if he's truly remorseful. It didn't look like a head hunting hit. I saw it in HD on ESPN. They showed it earlier, and it's all over Twitter right now. You just got to find a good good view of it.
Right.
But I didn't think that was something worthy of getting cut, man. Unless they're trying to send a message and they've already had issues at camp with guys doing too much.
In a few years, football will be
flag football.
Flag football.
Yeah. Yeah. If you're cutting guys for playing too tough, like, yo, man, you got to relax with all that toughness at safety. I get it. Now, if he's just being dirty against your star players in training camp, then I get it. Like if he goes low at your starting quarterback, all right, now you gotta get out of here because you must have got paid off by a division rival or something. You know, you're playing for a whole nother team at this point. But you know, I don't know. It looked incidental when I watched it. That was interesting to see. There's been a lot of talk, man. Do you think there's a chance that Cam Newton loses his job to Mac Jones week 1, or you think it's gonna take a little time?
Probably take a little time.
All right, so what give or take for the Patriots, what week are you giving Mac Jones to take that over? Because they're saying great things about him, but they're also saying Cam is playing great.
I don't know the exact week, but I think the move will be made as soon as Buffalo takes control of that division.
That'll be the excuse, right?
Yeah.
I'm still upset that sports writers and NFL analysts are saying that Miami has a chance to win the division.
Absolutely not.
I don't understand what has happened in the universe. Maybe I was actually asleep. Maybe I disappeared during when Thanos snapped his fingers and I just haven't realized I've been gone for that long. I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I'm just trying to figure out what Miami has done to warrant being in a conversation with Buffalo. I
don't know.
They've had Tua, a guy
just a guy
who was benched about 3 different times last year for Ryan Fitzpatrick, who they then let go.
Yes.
They lost Kyle Van Noy. Xavier Howard wants out. He doesn't want to be there. He hates the city. He hates the organization.
Wait. How can you hate the city?
Listen, man, our organization can make you hate a place. You know, and Miami is just spinning their wheels. And it's sad because I like their coach, even though they're rivals and I hate the team. I like their coach. He's a good black coach. I think he knows what he's doing, but I think he's dealing with another inept front office, just like when they had Jeff Ireland and those guys down there. I just think it's a bad situation. I'm still flabbergasted at that talk. Indianapolis Colts, we're talking about Carson Wentz. He's out. And now their all-pro left guard is out for 5 to 12 weeks with the same injury as Carson Wentz. They both got bad feet. Do you think the Colts need to make a move and try to trade for Nick Foles like everybody's saying?
Nope.
I don't understand this fascination with Nick Foles. He was on a great team. He was a backup on a great team. He was Jeff Hostetler on the New York Giants when Phil Simms went down.
Listen, don't compare.
No, but what I'm saying is I'm not saying Nick Foles is a bad quarterback, but he was never a better quarterback than Phil Simms.
No.
And that's what I'm saying. That's the perfect analogy to it.
So if you're Indy, who would you go get until Carson comes back?
If I'm Indy, right, and we're missing our all-pro left guard, and Carson Wentz is out, I'm going to stand pat with the 4 young quarterbacks that I got, have an open competition, and I'll be more focused on my offensive line than anything. Because no matter how you put back there, when you who you put back there, when you lose an all-pro left guard, Quentin Nelson, that's serious business. You know, you won't be able to protect anybody. If you lose Quentin Nelson and Carson Wentz is perfectly healthy, I'm looking at trading or something, depending on how long, what the prognosis is. They said 5 to 12 weeks. If it's 12 weeks, you're missing Quentin Nelson for easily half the season.
Well, the only good thing about the 5 to 12 weeks, if they both, like Carson Wentz had the surgery already.
Yeah, he had the surgery and it's successful.
If Quentin Nelson gets the surgery, let's say tomorrow,
yeah,
the season doesn't start until another 6 weeks. So that cuts into half of the 5 to 12.
Possibly, yeah. And then you may get him back week 6 or 7 or something like that, depending on how he heals. And they say Carson Wentz the way his injury was, he could potentially be back week 1 if everything goes great.
Right.
And I think it's kind of ridiculous that people think they should trade for Nick Foles.
Now,
Like Frank Reich has some magic potion that's going to make Nick Foles
no,
a Super Bowl quarterback again.
I wouldn't do that. Now, I didn't know about the Quentin Nelson until when I got here, I saw it on TV.
Yeah.
Now, if Quentin Nelson was still healthy and Carson Wentz had the injury, I would go back and get Phillip Rivers.
Can you convince Phillip Rivers to stop making babies and coaching high school football to come back and play another year?
I would try.
I would definitely. I would make the call.
Yeah, I would try.
Yeah, I would make the call. I don't think there's a trade out there you could make that would make sense.
No.
And you shouldn't give up any draft capital for that. There's no quarterback out there currently available that's going to change your fortune right now.
Especially if you could go back and get a quarterback that just played for you in this system.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would just go
and just took you to the playoffs.
Yeah, I would just go. I would make the call. Like, listen.
And honestly, they gave the Bills a hell of a game. Without Josh Allen doesn't come up with some amazing throws, we lose that game.
Yeah, I would just say, it don't even have to be for the whole year, just until Carson comes back.
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean?
Okay, yeah. So you give Phillip Rivers a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could go back once Carson comes back and we know that he's healthy, you could go back to coaching.
Yeah. But you can stay on the roster and we'll cut a couple of these young whippersnappers.
Yeah.
But
we'll send one of these quarterbacks to the practice squad.
Exactly.
Then, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because they said they got 4 guys who never started or who didn't play a snap last year.
Right.
And one of them only started like one NFL game. So that was interesting to look at. Deshaun Watson's situation is interesting. They're saying he missed practice today, but he had practice the last 6 days.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they're going to find resolution right now?
No, they should trade him.
I mean, but do you think they're going to get what they want?
No. I don't think you're going to be at this point now. You're not going to get like we talk about with the Ben Simmons situation.
Yeah.
You're going to take a loss.
Taking an L. You're definitely taking an L. And you already taken an L by having Tyrod Taylor start a quarterback. Right. That's a whole nother story.
Right. So you're going to take it. So, whatever, if someone calls you and say, look,
I'll give you a 1st and a 5th.
If somebody say, we'll give you a 2nd and a 6th.
I'd take a 1st in the upcoming year and a 2nd the following year. And I don't know, maybe a 5th that year. I would do that. Because I still think he's worth multiple high picks.
He is, but with teams seeing what's going on and how you don't want him around, it's like you're gonna have to take the best deal available.
Yeah. This is pretty nasty charges. And they're saying now there's starting to be criminal complaints. You know what I mean? I don't know if they're gonna bring charges against him, but I would imagine that a suspension is coming at some point.
Yeah.
And you don't want to get caught week 6 with a suspension hanging over you.
At least 4 games.
Yeah.
At least 4 games. I just think because right now they have him Houston has him as the 4th string quarterback.
Yeah. Which is disrespect.
And they got him at scout team safety.
Crazy.
So if I'm Deshaun Watson, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
Because if I don't show up, you're gonna find me.
You're gonna find me. I'm gonna lose a lot of money.
So
it's gonna look bad. It's gonna drive down my ability to leave.
So if I show up and you got me at scout team safety, as long as I'm here, I'm getting paid. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care what you do. Yeah, I'll be scout team kicker.
I don't care. I could be scout team water boy. I'm here, you have to pay me.
Yeah.
So if I'm Deshaun, I'm like, all right, I'm cool with it. I'm gonna show up. You gotta pay me. You're not. I'm not gonna sit out and you keep my money. No.
Yeah. That makes sense. So any other NFL storylines you've been looking at, man?
Nah, man. That's it.
Yeah, man. I just can't wait till football season starts. This is episode 20, man. We made it 20 episodes. Shout out to everybody that's been checking in with us on the live. This episode will be posted. I want y'all to comment, like everything. We're talking about this NBA free agency. I really want to know what people think, man.
Yeah.
Because look, the season's going to be right back in October, November.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be long before we're talking about this again.
Mm-hmm.
And I just want everybody to know how bad the Lakers and the Miami Heat are going to be. That's what it's going to be. Be Matt, you got to deal with it, man.
Yeah.
Go get your Ronnie Cycli jersey out the garbage.
Ronnie Cycli.
That's what I'm talking about. Real quick, Olympics. Simone Biles won bronze. She came back after sitting out several events due to mental health. I want to ask you this question, right? Because there's been the sports writers that say, she's got to figure out a way to deal with it. And there's been a lot of people showing support for her. What are your thoughts on her sitting out and then coming back and getting that bronze? Do you think she needed to come back?
No, I don't think she needed to come back. I think for her coming back was a little personal.
Yeah.
Because since she came back and got the bronze medal, she goes to tie for like American Olympic gymnasts to have at least a medal in each Olympic that you participated in.
Yeah, 4 straight.
So I think that was just selfish. And I don't want to rub anyone the wrong way. Like, I don't want to disrespect anyone that has like mental health issues,
right?
Because it is real.
It is real.
I just think some of these athletes, that's an excuse for like bad play or bad performances, just to use mental health. That, oh, I'm going through something. Like if you're struggling or you're like not performing to where you think you need to be, just own it. You know what I mean? Don't take the mental health route and say, oh, I got the yips or I got the twisties, like something's going on in my head. Like if you're not performing to where you think you need to be, don't use that excuse.
Very interesting. That's a very interesting take. And part of me agrees with you because I feel like this is becoming somewhat of a fad to say, oh, but what about my mental health? And this all started, we've been watching First Take for years where guys are like, oh, you guys talk bad about me and all this stuff. But this is not something new. As long as it's about the sport, I think it's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But we've seen the modern day athlete thinks everything is unfair. They make ghost accounts on Twitter. They go at people. They don't want to talk to the media. They become standoffish with people who have nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, all right, this is your 4th Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand about pressure. But if it was your 1st Olympics, I'd understand. This is number 4. You've been doing this for what? 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm struggling, me personally, not saying you're not having mental health issues, but I'm struggling not with the fact that you're having issues, because things can happen to anybody at any given time. I'm struggling with the fact that you're having a hard time finding a way through it.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're the leader of all of the United States Olympic events. You are the consummate Olympic athlete. You're the John Carlos. You represent this Olympics for America. This is you. You're the Mark Spitz, the Bruce Jenner. You're the Carl Lewis of this, the FloJo.
Michael
Phelps.
Yeah.
This is your Olympics. You represent it. Even if it's a political thing where you don't want to say, oh, she doesn't have to represent America, because that's where some of our people like to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, not representing America, but representing all of the athletes that train their entire lives to go over there and get it done.
Mm-hmm.
You got to show up, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
If I was in her circle, look, we got to find a way through this. Because this is it. This is your last one. And everybody's free to do what they want to do. And the same thing I said with Sha'Carri, but there's a consequence to it. And I'm hoping that her consequence isn't regret for the rest of her life, not going out there and killing shit like she knows how.
Right.
Because she's already the GOAT Olympian.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were having performance anxiety in your 4th Olympics, I just don't get it.
Right.
I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. It's the gig is the gig. Like, yo, the job is the job. This is what comes with it.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. It's like
everybody know, like, especially with the Summer Olympics, besides the men's and women's basketball team, we had Michael Phelps, and then now we have Simone Biles. Like, you're the main attraction besides the basketball teams. So, and then, like you said, like, it's your 4th Olympics, and if you're having the twisties, like, I never even heard of that.
I learn something new every day when it comes to this.
Like, come on, like, if you're not performing to where you think you need to be, just own it.
Yeah,
just own it.
Yeah, and I think the bronze medal. So That was an interesting thing because I never thought about that. That it kept her in the running to be tied for having a medal in as many Olympics. So she'll always go down at that as like the GOAT in that category for gymnastics.
Yeah.
That is very interesting. I never looked at it like
Yeah,
that.
and she could.
I thought it was curious though.
Yeah, and she can easily break it because the next Olympics is
3 years from
3
now.
years away.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
And I just think, yeah, if you're not really up for it, give somebody else all the opportunity then.
right?
Don't just, hey, I'm gonna pick this event. You can have this other
Yeah.
one and go silver.
Yeah,
And you know, I
If-
mean, it was dope for that girl because that was her last Olympics.
right.
Yeah. I forget which event it was. Was it the balance beam?
No, Simone did the balance beam.
She just did the balance beam. So
I
it
think it was
the,
like the uneven bars.
the uneven bars. Yeah, yeah. The girl, this was her last Olympics, and she finally medaled. And it was dope that she got silver.
Right.
So, but I just felt like give up the balance beam too then.
Yeah, like if you're gonna withdraw from it all.
Yeah.
Like, don't just wait until you could get an event where you don't have the twisties.
Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, man. Some people ain't gonna like that opinion, but I totally get it.
Yeah.
Because we look at things from an athlete's angle, and now this mental health thing is starting to be the fad and all the rage to explain away a bunch of stuff that's really just about performance.
Yeah,
at the end of the day.
it's
I've heard it
becoming a
used for
go-to.
Ben Simmons,
Yeah.
and it's like, bruh, you're getting paid to do something. You know, I with Naomi Osaka, this is part of the job. Tennis is a sport unlike any other. Talking to the media helps the entire sport.
Mhm.
You are the one.
Mhm.
If you're the greatest and the most individual sport out there, other than boxing,
It comes with the territory.
yeah, you got to talk to the media.
You got to.
Dictate how you talk. Learn how to get through. You got to learn how to talk to folks.
Mhm.
You know, like it's never going to be easy. It's something that I'm starting to say. Let's not these athletes, when they're as great as they are, they reap a lot of the rewards.
Mhm.
But let's not just focus on reward and just start giving people things that they're not earning.
Right.
I should say, I don't know. I'm not really wording this the way I am, but I just feel like when did we become a reward-based population where it's just like, oh, here, take everything, participation trophy.
Participation awards.
Yeah. Oh, you're great. You're great. What about the time when you're not great? Somebody's going to acknowledge that, and you should acknowledge it and want to get back to greatness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like that. It starts. It's the new generation. Like, everybody wants a ribbon or everybody wants a participation award trophy. Like, no. Like,
Yeah.
If when I was younger, if I lost in the championship game, I don't want no second place trophy.
No, not really. Yeah, I don't want that either.
I don't want that.
Yeah.
I'll accept it from whoever I'm getting, and then
Yeah.
before I get home, that thing's in the trash.
Yeah. If it's part of the fee we paid, all right, cool. It goes with the other stuff I don't care about that we're eventually gonna throw away. Yeah, that's it. I don't want the second place trophy at all. And especially at such that high level, I would expect, somebody to want to have a little more drive. Especially if you're in your fourth Olympics or you're a max basketball player, or you're the number one player in the world and you just defeated Serena. She just cried when she lost to you. This is what I'm saying. Like, what about her mental health? If we're going to mental health everybody,
Right.
What about that? What about the people you beat and they know they're not as good as you? You don't think they got to deal with that? You are the thing standing between them and their life's work. So it comes with the territory. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. This was a great show, man. I'm glad we got to touch on the Olympics.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about, man? Boxing is dead right now.
Boxing is dead right
Golf
now.
is dead right now.
Yeah. I mean, shout out to Super League championship game.
Super League championship game, man.
Might be pushed back till August 15th.
August 15th. Okay.
Tragedy happened with the town.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, one of their players, lost his life. Shout out to praying for his family.
Prayers for his family and all his friends.
Yeah,
man.
Family and friends. Get through this. This time. We're just pulling for his friends and family.
And for those that don't know, that's the men's league in South Jersey. We just completed a great season. With all COVID is going on, it's the second season in the town. These guys are from Trenton, New Jersey. This is the second major loss they've had of players that play with them, and this is one of the best teams I've ever seen.
Yeah,
like play organized basketball. And we had just got done shouting this particular player Bash out last week on this podcast because I love the way he played. He definitely was fiery. And he's willing to push things to the limit, but he never stopped playing basketball.
Right.
And that's where he challenged people to listen. If you pay attention to this, you're going to stop thinking the game through, and he's won. And his team is just going to beat you even more. But the game that we didn't pay attention, he still beat us. So I said, damn, these guys are everywhere. And he was just one of those players that I'm like, basketball.
Yeah, his energy was always on 1,000.
Yeah, always on 1,000. I respected him. He's the kind of guy I like to play. Like I grew up like to play with. I love that because he's from the old school. Look, we're coming out here to compete.
Right.
And it was a sad loss, man. And I just remember talking to him about their previous loss, and he was just like, "Yo, my condolences to y'all, man. It's crazy."
Right.
And then it's him now. So we just hope things get better for everybody, man. And like I said, my condolences, man. That really messed me up.
Yeah.
When I came back from my trip and heard that. But yeah, man, we're just looking forward to the championship. We're gonna definitely live stream that on the Super League page.
Yeah.
We're gonna come here, set up. I'm gonna be in charge of the live stream camera. I'm gonna make sure I'm not eating and being lazy. And we're gonna hope it's the best game possible. I still expect them to win, though.
Yeah, I expect them to.
I expect them to win going away.
Yeah, really.
Yes, going away. I expect a blowout victory because there's a
extra motivation.
Not even extra motivation. I think they're just a much higher IQ, smarter team. They play basketball naturally at a higher level than the team that they're going to be playing against. They're older.
I think it might be closer with your kid Julian coming back for the underdog.
Okay, all right.
I think it should be, it should be better.
I don't know, man. They play high level basketball, man.
They do.
They do. They play really high level basketball. For playing against both of those teams, I don't think that other team there, but they're really young.
Yeah.
Like young minded, young. They make young decisions and they make young substitutions. They just do everything young.
Right.
They got to the championship. Congratulations, but you're gonna lose. That's what I'm saying. And if anybody wants to take that bet, I'm covering all bets. Yo, shout out to once again, man. Congratulations on the Super League, man.
Appreciate it.
I like
man.
seeing you coming up and progress. We got the third season coming. I'm contemplating on putting the team in. I don't want to step on the court until I'm in good shape.
Right.
Yeah. I got to get there. I feel better now that we're running these runs, but I don't want to get out there until I can get a workout routine going again and really get in the rhythm of being strong, total body fitness. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what I'm trying to figure out now, man, because I love to eat. We're about to eat right now and watch this versus, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna pop some turkey burgers in the air griller. Yeah, the air griller. The foreman died, man. You remember what it did to my turkey burgers last time?
You never fix it?
Nah, man. No, you couldn't fix it. I guess whatever keeps it from sticking to the foreman.
It's over.
It's over, man. It was ripping all my turkey burgers apart when I tried to open it. So shout out RIP to my foreman grill, man. That was gone too soon. All of that hashtag. I'll see you soon. You know what I'm saying? Or later rather than sooner. But we're going to rock out with these turkey burgers, man, and watch this versus. We got the locks over Dipset, right?
Yeah, LOX, man.
Yo, this is the season finale, episode 20. Once again, thank you for everybody that's supporting. We're definitely coming back for the NFL season. This is going to be a much more action-packed, much deeper show. We got some things planned to take this to the next level.
Yeah.
But, yo, we figured it out this summer, man.
Yeah, I think we got better every episode.
We got better every episode. People have told us that. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thanks for the feedback.
Man. We got better and the Lakers got worse every episode. We got better. The Miami Heat got worse every episode. We got better.
And the Chicago Bulls got better.
The Chicago Bulls got better. Sixers got worse. But the Buffalo Bills seem to get better every episode. So I'm loving where we're at. The Yankees are getting better.
Yeah.
Yankees starting to swing those bats.
Yeah.
The Mariners, even after our trade, we're still doing our thing, man.
Yeah.
We're still doing our thing. And the games are coming. I was going to go to the game, but I had to, I can't make the game this year.
Yeah.
But you know what?
We'll
be back.
That's on the bucket list, though.
We'll be back for the playoffs. That's what's going to happen. If they make the playoffs, we're going up in the luxury box. I'm doing whatever I got to do. That's it. Whole paycheck going to the luxury box.
Mariners up 3-1 on the Rays right now.
That's what I'm talking about. We won yesterday too, man. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. So yeah, Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 20, season finale. Follow us at Indio Media Group on Facebook and on YouTube. Please drop a like, share, comment. Let us know what you think. Give us your suggestions. Tell me I'm an idiot. Call me a hater. I'm still coming back. Episode 21. and the Miami Heat still ain't gonna be a top half of the East team. We out.
They gonna kill you.